If you've ever built something on your computer, you know the feeling. It's perfect. But the moment someone else tries to run it, it just breaks. Well, in this explainer, we are going to talk about the ultimate fix for that infamous "it works on my machine" problem once and for all.
So picture this. You've been coding for weeks, maybe even months. You finally click run and it's flawless. Absolutely perfect. Every single feature works just the way you designed it. That is a moment of pure triumph, right?
But, and you knew there was a but coming, it works perfectly on your machine. And that one little detail, well, that's where all the trouble starts.
So you send it over to your colleague or you deploy it to a server, and then almost immediately it crashes. You get that dreaded message back, "Hey, this isn't working." And what's your first instinct? To say, "What are you talking about? It works on my machine." Okay, so what's really going on here? Why does this happen all the time? It's not just bad luck. It's a really fundamental challenge in software, and it's caused by dozens of tiny, almost invisible differences between computers. Let's break it down. This right here, this shows the quiet chaos perfectly. You see, maybe you're on a Mac using Python 3.9, but the server is running Linux with Python 3.8. That tiny version difference could mean a feature your code depends on just doesn't exist over there. Every single line you see here is a potential landmine for your app. You have to remember, your application isn't just an island. It depends on this whole ecosystem of other software to work properly. A different operating system, a library that's slightly the wrong version, or even one tiny missing file is all it takes to bring the whole thing crashing down.
So if the problem is the environment itself, the place the code is running, then the question becomes, what if you could just package your code and its perfect little environment together, and then just ship them as one single thing? Well, that is the brilliant idea behind the hero of our story, Docker.
So what Docker does is it creates this thing called a container. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a real-world shipping container. You know those big metal boxes? It's a standard size box that holds your app and everything it needs to run, all sealed up and ready to go anywhere.
And the best part? You don't need to be some kind of systems genius to get it. The entire incredible power of Docker really just boils down to that one simple, elegant concept: standardization.
Okay, so how does this magic box actually work? What's the trick that makes everything so portable? Well, let's take a peek inside the container and see what's going on.
The secret is right here. It is completely self-contained. Think about it. A real shipping container doesn't care if it's on a truck, a train, or a boat. It's just a box. In exactly the same way, a Docker container doesn't care if the computer it's on is a Mac, a Windows PC, or a Linux server. Everything it could possibly need is already packed inside. So let's imagine we're packing one of these containers right now. First, in goes your application code. Next, we grab every single library and dependency it needs down to the exact specific version. Then, we toss in all the necessary system tools and settings. Seal it all up, and boom, you have one lightweight, totally isolated, and completely self-sufficient unit. All right, so we've packed our perfect, self-contained box. What does this actually mean for us in the real world? Well, it delivers on one single, incredibly powerful promise that has made Docker an absolutely essential tool today.
And there it is. Because your app is safely tucked away inside its perfect little environment, you can run that container on any machine in the world that has Docker installed, and it will behave the exact same way. Every single time. It just works.
So what's the bottom line here? What do you get out of this? First, deployment becomes seamless. You build it once and you can run it anywhere. Second, no more configuration confusion. You don't have to mess with settings on every new server. And third, and maybe the best of all, no more nasty environment surprises. It really is the ultimate fix to that age-old problem. And it really all comes back to that simple starting point. Just one powerful concept. Packaging your application with its environment manages to solve a universe of complexity and gets rid of countless headaches and points of confusion.
You know, this leaves us with a really interesting thought. Docker didn't just fix a common bug. It completely changed how we think about building and shipping software. It makes you wonder, right? What's the next "it works on my machine" problem out there? What's the next big frustration that's just waiting for its own equally elegant solution?